Newcastle Fans TV leading the way. We are back, everybody. How you been? How's the international break? Been awful, hasn't it? This is the big preview. We cram loads of previews, loads of effort goes into these videos. So if you do like that video, give it that massive thumbs up. That'll be much appreciated. Coming up on today's show, we have the very talented, the very beautiful Isha is back, and she'll be bringing you a generic preview. We've got the Lovebirds, Kyle and Johnny, who went on a mandate. They'll be bringing you up to date, looking at the opposition. And of course, we've got our stat man, Mr. Rob Spieral, who'll be looking at a combined 11 with the two sides. If he were to put them together, what would be that best 11? All of that to come. So we're going to crack on. We've got Monday night. There'll be, our gang will be down there. There's 4 of us down, which will be hopefully seeing Newcastle pick something up. I'm not going to lie. This is the one fixture I've looked at all season that I personally want to see us get over the Villa fans. It's personal, and I think a lot of Newcastle fans probably know why. Sob on the Tyne twice, and of course the Henry Lansbury incident when he was at Nottingham Forest, when he moved to Villa, scored an own goal. Brilliant. So it's a bit of a recent history, you would say, with Villa fans, and this is why I want to see us win this. But first, a generic preview. Here is the very talented Isha.
Well, we went into the international break on a high. 2 pivotal wins for us, West Ham and then Bournemouth, and they came just at the right time. We had teething problems accepting Steve Bruce at the start of the season, and without getting too ahead of ourselves, we have to give credit where it's due to Bruce. He's managed to find his feet and orchestrate a system that's getting us the results we need. I have cautious faith that we can continue to climb the table if we just keep up the momentum and grab points at every opportunity. I mean, we could end the year far enough away from the relegation zone, and we do currently sit 13th in the Premier League standings. That's just 2 points off 5th place, by the way. A lengthy international break is never welcomed when in winning form, and I don't like the idea that by the time it's Monday, it will be a whole 16 days since our Bournemouth win. It's not ideal, but there's not much we can do about that. So now let's have a look at who's returning from international duty. So there's Kieran Clark, DeAndre Yedlin, who I'll come back to a little bit later when I touch on injury updates. Dubravka, obviously, he kept a clean sheet on Tuesday as Slovakia beat Azerbaijan 2-0. Almiron. Now, last Thursday, Paraguay beat Bulgaria in a friendly, and it was Miggy who scored the only goal of the game. So now that's 2 goals in his last 4 internationals. Now, getting on the score sheet for Newcastle is still hugely anticipated for him, but at least being able to find the back of the net on international duty instills the faith we have in him to get there eventually with us, and he did have a sensational all-round performance against Bournemouth. I personally can't wait to see more of the energy he brings to Villa Park on Monday. Matty Longstaff, he made his international debut with the England under-20, so his season just gets more and more exciting. Now let's just move on to injury updates. So starting on a positive, Steve Bruce said that Florian Lejeune and Fabian Schär are available for Monday's clash against Aston Villa. Schär has spent a month on the sidelines with a knee injury, whilst we haven't seen Lejeune in action since April due to a torn ligament. Bruce told a news conference that Lejeune and Schär have trained the past 2 weeks, and as long as they come through the next 2 to 3 days unscathed, both of them come into contention, and that can only be a good thing. So very positive news for us, and I'm particularly keen to see Lejeune back on the pitch. From the way Steve Bruce has spoken about him, he's very aware of the extra quality he has to offer, and it's evident he wants to find a place for him as soon as possible. And perhaps now's the perfect time for it. We are fortunate to have plenty of options at centre-back, and with Jamal Lascelles ruled out until the new year due to his knee injury, and Kieran Clark in doubt for Monday's game after picking up a knock whilst away with Ireland, it could be a great opportunity for Bruce to throw Lejeune his big chance. As well as Kieran Clark, another possible injury concern could be DeAndre Yedlin. Nothing has been officially announced, but on Wednesday, the USA played Cuba, and match reports mentioned he limped off the pitch after getting subbed after 59 minutes. So after playing brilliantly recently for us, and obviously scoring against Bournemouth, I'm just hoping it's only a knock, but we'll have to follow updates on that leading up to Monday. So now let's move on to the game in question. So if we continue with our winning form, dare I say, we'll go on to record 3 consecutive top-flight victories, which will be the first time since November 2018. Aston Villa, they have lost their last 3 league games, granted, they had challenging fixtures, Man City, Liverpool and then Wolverhampton. They also had to adjust to Jack Grealish being injured since the City game, and his absence has undoubtedly had an enormous impact on the team. But he is set to return for Monday's game. That will be a huge boost for them. Also, Jack Grealish, he'll be reunited with Steve Bruce, who coached him for 2 years during his spell at Villa from 2016 to 2018. So they're on good terms, so that'll be interesting to see. Although our front three are on somewhat of a goal drought, there is a huge factor they can take advantage of in Monday's game. Now, Dean Smith will be forced to start his third choice keeper for Aston Villa, Orjan Nyland. They've been forced to rule out their first and second choice keepers due to injuries. Now, Nyland has made 27 appearances with the Norwegian national team, and he is a talented keeper, no doubt, but he has no experience in the Premier League. And Aston Villa, so far this season, have been quite resilient at home. They've only conceded 7 goals. But on Monday, our lads will be against a keeper, essentially, who is making his first start in the top flight. So making the most of opportunities when he's left exposed could get us on the front foot. So that's about it from me. What do you guys think? As usual, we want to hear from you. So just comment below, stay subscribed. We've got plenty more stuff coming leading up to Monday. I'll catch you next time.
Thank you very much, Isha. So it's nice to get a beautiful face on the channel once again, and Isha actually makes a few valid points. Of course, we know that Kieran Clark does have a knock. Bruce was saying in his press conference, which Isha touched upon, that he might not make it. He'll be desperate to play against his former side. And of course, Isha's just touched upon there about Bruce going back to Aston Villa. Will he get a good reception? I can't say that personally. I think he won't get a really great reception from that as well. But hey ho. But she mentioned, Isha's just mentioned that we've got a few stuff coming up over the weekend. This Sunday, of course, we're back with the radio show. We don't give a fuss about our radio show. No, we do, seriously. I'm just taking the mickey out of Alan Saint-Maximin swearing on the BBC. I'm sure you've seen that. There'll be no swearing on our channel on Sunday, because we'll be taken off by Ofcom, so I don't think that'll happen. But tune in, we'll be talking all things for the preview, we'll interacting with the live chat, and also email the show as well. But speaking of interaction, we've also got our fan subscription group as well. We bang on about it every preview, because this is where, if you like what we do here at Newcastle Fans TV, you get exclusive stuff, and that's where you see the likes of me and Paul posting regularly in there. I think Rob has a couple of times where you'll say exclusive stuff from videos to what we're up to on the channel, so do head over there. It's a small fee. I think it's only like just over £3 to join, but you'll get all the latest on us. Now, speaking, I've just mentioned the two lads earlier on, Johnny and Kyle. They went on the mandate. They actually had a cheeky date, not in Nando's, which was very surprising. Johnny, what about you two boys?
Last couple of games, you look at the last 6, take away the league game against Wolves, which was a 2-1 win. They got Liverpool's probably under 18s in the quarterfinals. It's a mixed bag, but they've beaten the likes of Brighton and Norwich. But the last 3 games, defeat to Liverpool, defeat to Manchester City, and a defeat to local rivals Wolves.
But having said that, the teams that they've lost to are actually quite decent sides, so we haven't fared any good against them either. I know we've still got Man City to play next week on Saturday, but it is going to be a difficult game regardless, because Aston Villa are going to be involved for this one.
You look at Aston Villa, and the next 2 fixtures are actually Manchester United and Chelsea.
But Steve Bruce actually brought in John McGinn.
He did,
There's
yeah.
a stat for you.
£2 million.
To compete with Rob. But yeah, John McGinn in midfield, very good midfielder. But the one I'm most worried about is probably Wesley, because we're physical defenders out injured at the moment in Lascelles and Clark. So I think Wesley's going to look to put the pressure on the likes of Fernandes and Paul Dummett if Paul Dummett starts. If Wesley remains sort of Rondon from last season, where he holds up the ball, he's got ferocious shot. He showed that against
Big word.
he showed that against Everton when they beat them 2-0 at Villa Park a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he's a dangerous striker, and he's the one to watch out for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm looking at Jack Grealish. I think he'll be fit for this game. I think this is the game that they're probably targeting to be back for.
Yeah.
He's been injured. There was rumours of being in the England team as well, or the England squad rather.
Not the Irish one, then.
Not the Irish one. No.
Ramsey.
We've got to try and keep him quiet, but I think we've got the midfielders and the defence to do that though, Kyle.
I'd agree. I mean, we've got with injuries, but we're fortunate to have a very blessed amount of depth in defence, because we've got the likes of Fernandes there, we've got Dummett, Clark's out injured. You've got the return of
It's 50-50 Clark, isn't it, at the minute?
Returning Fabian Schär. So we have got the tools to deal with it at the back, but it is still going to be a rough night.
Yeah, I think, look, Monday night under the lights at Villa Park, the atmosphere is going to be brilliant. Villa don't like us. We don't really like Villa, so it's going to... No, I don't like Villa. I just don't hate them as like every other Newcastle fan does. It's just, I've got mates that are Villa fans, so you can put like a little friends in between us, but if you want to.
Oh, Johnny, friend, Birmingham friend.
But yeah, look, it should be a really good game. Kyle, let's get your prediction.
I mean, as you know, Johnny, predictions isn't me strong.
Are Newcastle going to come away with this without a defeat?
I'm optimistic we can get a point, and if we play well, we can get 3. So I'm optimistic going down on the Monday night, but it is going to be a difficult game because Villa obviously going to be up for it. It's the first realistic game in about a month that they've had for winning. Obviously, they get up for the derby and that because it's obviously a local rivalry, but realistically they're the worst side out of the two teams.
Yeah.
So this at the start of the season, they realistically look at the calendar and look at the likes of Newcastle and teams like that as teams to beat. So us at home they'll be wanting 3 points for sure.
Yeah, I'm going 1-1. I think it'll be a tough game. I think we'll take the lead, and I think maybe ASM gets his first goal for Newcastle.
Not Miguel Moron, no.
No, I think that'll be Man City. Maybe.
Fair enough.
But no, ASM, I'm going to go 1-1 draw for Newcastle against Aston Villa on Monday night. Final point, Kyle, just before we hand it back to Lee. Steve Bruce against his old club.
Going to have the coverage. Villa fans are going to have the coverages at the ready to welcome him back.
Well, I think after the Leicester game, I think we were probably going to get broccoli or something, or something like that. But he's turned it around a little bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think the Leicester game in the story of things, I think it's worked out. Because since then we've been really good. We've only been beat off a very informed Chelsea side, and even then I don't think we deserve to lose the game. So since then I think Steve Bruce has really got together. Like I said, after the game he needed to, because at that point he was a deer in the headlights, but he's starting to show a little bit of promise and show a bit of an idea of what he wants to do. So yeah, if he keeps going, the fans will eventually get behind him and things like that.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, let's hand it back to Lee to continue the preview.
So Kyle walked into the restaurant and seen the prices and he said, nah, that's not for me. So they had a nice little romantic date, fish and chips down the beach. But hey-ho, each their own. Now, they've mentioned a couple of things there with Aston Villa. I think Grealish will probably come back. We expect him. He's got a few goals, a few assists. He can't be too far off of an England call-up. Obviously, there was a joke in there about HITC and obviously with Grealish being Irish and all of that. But John McGinn scoring goals, what a revelation. He's been not just club and for country, scored a hat-trick. I know it's against a pub team, but he still scored a hat-trick for his country. So they've got a few danger men going forward. They score a lot of goals, Aston Villa, but they also concede a lot as well. So in particular, I think the goalkeeper, which Isha touched upon it earlier on, is I think we've got to try and pepper those shots. Newcastle have been a lot more fluent and a lot more flamboyant. We're at all away games coming up over the Christmas period, and if you're not going to be there, get amongst our Amazon and get all the latest stuff from products, but also we're giving free trials away. So if you're not at the games, the game at Sheffield United and the game against Manchester United is on Amazon. You can get that free with us. Keep an eye out, we'll be posting that on our socials next week, but if you want to have a look at it right now, there's a link with the Amazon link in the description down below. Have a look at that. You can actually start the trial whenever you want, but we'll be promoting it more next week. But if you combine both the teams together, what team would you get? What formation would you play? Rob, what about you?
So thank you very much, Lee. Hi guys, welcome as always. So in goal, I've gone for Martin Dubravka, but I think Dubravka just sort of edges it. Heaton, he is a good goalkeeper. I do like him as a player, but at the same time, I think he's had a bit of bad luck with injuries, especially during his time with Burnley and with Nick Pope coming through Burnley. Then yes, it's going to Heaton struggle to sort of get back into that frame. So Dubravka takes it for me when comparing the two goalkeepers. Right wing back, DeAndre Yedlin. I've gone for a predominantly Newcastle United defence, as you're about to see. DeAndre Yedlin, I think, had his best game for Newcastle United in the last game against Bournemouth. I think had it not been for that, I reckon I probably wouldn't have chosen him for this. But yes, Yedlin takes it for me. Okay, we'll go for 3 centre-backs. I'm expecting Fabian Schär to be back because he's been slightly doubtful for the past month, so I'm expecting he hasn't played for Switzerland either during the international break. I'm expecting him to be back. Lascelles, as we all know, is injured until the new year. I don't really need to say much more. He's one of our best defenders in recent years, I think. And then Kieran Clark, who he's in undroppable form at the moment. He's joint top of our goal scoring charts with Shelvey. High scoring defender, and hopefully he can get a goal against his former club, make that 3 goals in 3 at least. And then for the other centre back, I've gone for Tyrone Mings. He's a defender who's having a pretty good season at the moment, and he's got called up to the England setup, so that's, and I think that's certainly merited. Maybe Jamal Lascelles probably deserved it a bit more than he did, but Mings, you don't get called up if you're not a good player, so he's having a great season, and I think he makes it into this combined 11. Left wing back, let's go for the inform Jetro Willems. Yes, similar to Yedlin, it's form that definitely takes this one. So Willems, I presume, will certainly be a mainstay, even if Richie is not 100% fit, but is well enough to start on the bench, for example. Okay, let's go for 2 central midfielders. Now, when I say that this combined 11 was a really difficult one, this was the position I spent about 15 minutes trying to work out who would be best placed in these positions. In the end, I've gone for John McGinn of Aston Villa and Isaac Hayden for Newcastle, of course. John McGinn, he's certainly not looked out of place. He played a great part in Aston Villa's promotion last season. And then he's not looked out of place in the Premier League, and that is what you want for someone in the middle of the park. Your playmaker. Jack Grealish was one who I was umming and ahhing about. He is their joint top scorer with 4 goals and 4 assists, so you certainly want to watch. But I've gone for Isaac Hayden over Jack Grealish. It took a long time for me to decide on this, but Isaac Hayden takes it for me. Back from the ban that he had his first game back against Bournemouth. Did pretty well, I thought, as did a lot of players that day. But yes, Isaac Hayden, mainstay for me. His 2019 just keeps getting better and better. Okay, so let's go for a front 3. Again, this was a difficult one to choose from. Right wing, I've gone for Trezeguet. Now, I understand that this might not go down very well, especially in the Newcastle camp side of things. But Trezeguet, he's having a decent season. Played in the Belgian league, if I'm not mistaken, for the previous few years before making the summer move to Aston Villa in the summer. He's been all right. He's been fairly good. But then, hear me out on this. For the left wing position, I've gone for Alan Saint-Maximin. Yes, I know people would usually go for Saint-Maximin on the right wing. However, I've gone for him on the left wing because I think Saint-Maximin can play on both sides. We've seen him play both sides, and I think he's equally as good on both sides. Trezeguet, on the other hand, I've only seen him play right wing. So, yes, for Saint-Maximin to take the left wing position. Surely, we keep saying it, surely it's only a matter of time before he can get that all-important first goal. Absolutely amazing in the past 2 games against West Ham and Bournemouth, when you put him up against the likes of Pablo Zabaleta, Francis for Bournemouth, and Ake. Yeah, he absolutely ran around. Adam Smith as well. Absolutely ran rings around the Bournemouth defence, which certainly helped us get the win. So Trezeguet and Saint-Maximin are my wingers. And then finally, the striking position. Both strikers, it's either going to be Wesley or Joelinton. Both strikers have been fairly under par for a Premier League number 9 this season for me. But I think it's got to be Wesley. Joelinton, I think things will improve, because it was around this time last year that Rondon started to take off for Newcastle. It was in that Bournemouth game last year, wasn't it, for Rondon, that sort of started the trend of goals that came. Before that, he only had 1 in all competitions. So I've got faith in Joelinton, but right now, with this being the combined 11, basing it on form, and especially this season, it's certainly Wesley. has got to take it for me. So only 4 Aston Villa players in that selection. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments, and I'll take it. Back to you, Lee. Thanks very much.
All these videos that we've been doing this season, I'm the only one who's played 4 at the back. Come on, mix it up a little bit, people. How are you? But let us know what you think on today's video. Thank you very much to Isha, who's contributed. Thanks very much to Johnny and Kyle on the date. And of course, Rob being statistical with his combined 11. I had to edit some of that out. Sorry, Rob, as you know, because you can waffle on a little bit like I am right now. We'll see you for the show on Sunday. Stay tuned to Newcastle Fans TV, leading the way this year. And also we'll be in Birmingham, bringing you all the content from Aston Villa's result against us on Monday night.
Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left.